March 29th is designated the National Vietnam War Veterans Day. This day honors the more than 2.7 million Americans that served in the war. The date was chosen because it was the day that the last of the U.S. troops left the Southeast Asian nation after 20 years of war. In honor of this day, I bring you a story of how a Vietnam vet went on a mission to convert an abandoned state police barracks in Dartmouth, Massachusetts into a viable home for veterans. This is the story of the O'Connor Sisson House. My name is Kevin O'Connor, and I'm here to tell you a story about a Vietnam veteran, a Marine who wanted to give back to fellow veterans and give back to his town. And that Marine is Major William J. O'Connor, my father. The O'Connor Sisson House is located in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. It was a project envisioned by my dad a long time ago. There was a state police barracks that was abandoned. I say they moved elsewhere. And this building just sat there for a long time, and my dad couldn't help but think this would be a great place for housing for vets. So he was the chairman of the Dartmouth Housing Authority at the time. So the journey began. I started in, had to raise money, had to get it approved, had to get the politicians on board. So he began this project, but unfortunately he did not live to see this project come to fruition. When he passed in 2009, another member of the Dartmouth Housing Committee, Charles Sisson, took on the task. And sadly, he also passed away. And my brother Matt took on the project. He was the treasurer of the Dartmouth Housing Authority, and through lots and lots of work. Finally, in October of 2016, October 14th, specifically, it was a Friday morning, we did the ribbon cutting. Not too long after that, probably 2 weeks or so, the first residents began to move in. Right now, I take you back to that day in 2016, where my brother said a few words at the dedication of the O'Connor Sisson House.
My father he served on the board of Dartmouth Housing Authority. He worked closely with Connie. He envisioned this. This was always something that he wanted to see come about. He was always very much about, a brotherhood amongst himself and fellow veterans. He was a Marine, and anybody who knows Marines know that, they have a strong bond, which is putting it mildly. One of his very good friends and fellow Marine, Bill Slater, is here today. And we also have, my family members. My mom's here, Kevin's here, but also, my aunt and Uncle Ed are here came up from Long Island. So this is really a great event. If you ever were lucky enough to talk to my dad and hear him tell his war stories, they really weren't as much war stories as they were just, stories that he could turn into something that were more about that, that spirit of commitment to others and brotherhood. I remember my mom telling us a story, and my dad, about my dad developing this penchant for those Kraft caramels, not because he even liked them, but because when they do the airdrop shipments of supplies, he'd let his other guys, because he was the battery commander, have first crack at all the goodies, and everybody hated those, so they were all left. So Dad suddenly just developed the taste for them because they were the only thing to eat. Or his story about, his brotherhood extended down even to their, the four-legged members of their group. They had a dog in their battery, and I remember him telling a story about one time they got hit. For those of you who don't know, my dad was a Vietnam veteran. He served in the Siege of Quezon. He was there, so for history buffs, that was an important battle in the Vietnam War. and telling us a story about a time when the ammo dump got hit. And they were running short on gas masks, so he was sharing a gas mask with the dog because everything blew up, tear gas and everything, you name it. So, in closing, I'd just like to say that I think, his spirit of helping others really carried on to what he did with the Dartmouth Housing Authority. And, I like to think that, and that's both himself and a gentleman who I didn't know as well, but I know that they both were very committed to community. Himself and Charlie Sisson, I think that it's wonderful that I'm privileged to be able to speak here. So on behalf of myself, my mom, my brother, all my family, both immediate and extended, who contributed to this, and everybody who did, we thank you so much. I'm privileged to be able to serve on the board and help bring what I know is such an important element of the community, which is bringing affordable housing for veterans here. And I know my dad's looking down on us and is very happy today. So, thank you.